the time, your gateway to the world. AFR! American Freedom Radio. Give it to them.
Get real and heal. Listen to Christie on Soul Journeys Radio.
Can you hear me?
I'm online.
Wait, you hear me? Oh, hey, I hear a Toby, too.
Yes, there's a Toby. I think we're on the air, girl.
Okay, woohoo! All right, happy frickin' Thursday, everyone. Welcome, Soul Journeys Radio on AmericanFreedomRadio.com. And if you have been missing for the past couple weeks, we're trying to deal with, whatever that hacker stuff that's going on. And so we found a new solution to, try to circumvent it, so forgive me. I guess the only problem with that is that we can't hear the music or the intros or the outros, so I guess we'll have to have Adam in the sound room let us know when the break starts coming, but woohoo! That's good news. We are here and we are live and hopefully stable. The only problem is we are not going to be having a caller line tonight while we work it this way. So if you do have any questions or comments, I'll be watching the text chat, so please feel free to come join us over there at souljourneysradio.com. Just click on listen and chat, and I'll do the best I can to get all the messages, comments, etc. And it would probably help me out a little bit to differentiate it and catch my eye if maybe you can use some big, bold letters or capitals so it kind of stands out. So anyways, we are here with our special guest tonight, St. Toby Wong Kenobi. We are continuing the discussion of parallel lives, alternate timelines, multiple dimensions and realities, time travel, and all that fun stuff. We did part one, last week, so if you missed that, you can check out the archives over at AmericanFreedomRadio.com or just go to Soul Journeys Radio. I think there is this, podcast feed on the left-hand side you can click on to get that. But Tobias is a personal awakening coach and an excellent one at that. He is also the author of one of my favorite books, Listening to the Sun and Awakening Souls. He is the creator of CourseOfAwakening.com, and his main site is soulcounseling.com. So, woo, I'm so excited. I hope we have a free-flowing show tonight, and thank you all for bearing with us here during these challenges, but we're not giving up. So how the heck are you doing tonight, Toby?
God, you're such a pro, Christy. You are such a seasoned pro and smooth and just, quality, elegant, and good at delivering. And but then we feel weird. It's like we're going back to the dark ages. Oh, no, we have to do it on the phone. We're so spoiled with Skype and, you know what I mean?
Well, I'm not sure what show you're listening to, but that sounds good to me. Thank you.
Yeah. And, Christy, you need to know that. You know that I know you're self-effacing. Ooh, big word there. You are, you have carried this energy with you from lifetimes of, I'm going to call you out a little bit here.
Go.
On priestess, since you call me Toby Wong Kenobi, You're
Toby.
Oh, my God, I'm getting the hives every time you say that. It's my particular personal torture. I guess you, in other lifetimes, priestess, aristocratic energies, and working for the people, trying to keep justice and battling, quote, insidious dark forces there in Egypt and the lifetimes after that in North Africa and Greek involvement, of course, goddess energy, which you obviously are still carrying with you. And then you are bravely here still doing it, week after week, all the time for years now, putting out deep, cutting-edge info on real awakening on the planet, whether it's the gardening and live food, actually eating healthy food, or, true shamans or lately with Mark Hausman and his brave step into speaking into the whole gay issue and the human body and what's really going on there. And then having me on, where I'm kind of like neon, but neon kind of different. Neon, a very lately discovered type of neon will hopefully not annoy you as much. No. Well, when we speak, that we've done 145, this is the 146th show, is that something like that?
That's crazy. Wait, I think it was 144 last week, or I posted that 12 times 12, so we're somewhere around 150 now.
That's amazing. And actually, when you mentioned that, I went back and listened to the first show we did, and there's definitely been an evolution. But I have to say, not tooting our own horn, but we should accept some of this. We have been cutting edge from day one 3 years ago. This stuff still rings true. And I recently had a friend, she's crazy, a promotion woman. I mean, talk about tough New York. She used to put on, work for the advertising agencies in New York and media and TV and HBO. And she's like, let's get your shows. I haven't told you this yet, Christie. Let's get your shows and start promoting these. Let's start selling them. This stuff needs to be out there so people, if other, quote, people out there in the movement that Oprah has on, notice I'm naming no names, are getting their stuff out there. She's like, you get me this stuff on little hard drives and we'll figure it out and blah, blah, blah. So anyhow, I feel that way too, and I've told you over the years. We put some good stuff out there, and there will come a time when it is reaching people, but you have been, Joan of Arc, Amazon, in a good way, please don't be angry at me, warrior, goddess, elegance, and working through your own issues, and I hope that those things, because when you're on the front lines fighting, quote, the control systems, they tend to want to put you in underground bunkers and torture you, And we've both been through that in other lives, and now it's time anyway. So, don't let it go to your head. I know you won't, but it's time for you to step into some kind of breathing room, exhale, relax, receive for yourself, and, that's what I'm feeling for you. I don't know. Where did that come from? But I just felt it. So I'm going to start calling you.
I like it. Thank you.
The high priestess of galactic frickin' take no prisoners, and if you bring me any kind of BS, I'm going to rip you and show you the truth, and you may not like it, so stay the back. That's Christie's title for it right now.
All right. Well, thanks so much.
Obi-Wan Kenobi ain't nothing. Here we go.
You know this because you've been following me around in all these lifetimes.
Yeah, hopefully we've been friends most of the time. And,
I think we have.
That's good. It's really a funny thing.
My experience tells me that. I mean, that's my reality.
Cool. and speaking of parallel lives and alternate timelines, all this stuff is happening at once, and as you start melting into more of the now, thank you, Mr. Eckhart Tolle, once we start melting into the I am here right now, I am that I am, they all start happening simultaneously. It's like we have multiple experiences all happening at once, and this is actually a truer picture of the holographic quantum universe. It's all happening at the zoo. And the zoo is in your head and in your stomach and in your heart.
I like that. That's about right.
There's total mayhem and full-on pandemonium. Let's look at that word for a second. It's kind of fun. Pandemonium. Like Pantheon, that famous building, is that the total panning the camera is the closest thing people usually know about it. The God Pan, it means everything. Pan American Airlines. Remember that old airline? That goes all across the Americas. That's how it started. So pandemonium is when we let all the demoniums out of the pit. Are we ready for pandemonium? I am. Let's let some pandemonium across the planet. It's high time. Mark and I were talking today. We were invoking the ancient gods and to set them free. Thor, Zeus, Hera, Athena, Freya, Odin, Krishna, Rama, Jesus, of course, the Holy Spirit, God himself, Source. Jehovah we're a little suspect of. He's been torturing people for a while, so he needs to back off a little bit. If Jehovah can't handle Thor's hammer, he ain't no God. If Jehovah can't handle Thor's hammer on today, his day, Thor's day.
That's right. When we're on the show.
Well, that's right. And by the way, these are the Greek gods that came up yesterday big time. There was something on the History Channel. Joel and I turned the TV on in the middle of the day, and it was about the Odyssey, the Odysseus and Homer's saga, and about the Cyclops and the Lotus Eaters and the Sirens and the Poseidon and all that. And then later that night, it was about it again. And then Mark came up today. So, God, the ancient ones are real beings, and I speak a truth now that most people don't know. They think they're just myths. But the Greek gods, in fact, are real beings. Before there were humans and even angels, in a sense, at least for this quadrant, the ancient ones are the ancient watchers. And they are not quite like us. They are the Titans. The Titans are real beings. And like I might have mentioned before, a friend of mine and I met and encountered some of the Titans about 20 years ago out in some canyons in Arizona. In etheric form, we would have peed our pants and lost control of ourselves completely, probably, if they showed up physically. But we saw them etherically, and they would manifest. They would do things like move objects and talk to us etherically. And there was an exchange program of them needing to learn heart and love. See, the Titans were warriors. They were the giants of old, okay? The giants that Moses mentions in Genesis, they were giants in the earth in those days, are the Titans. And there are remnant skeletons. This is true, even though the debunkers and the disinfo agents are getting there. Of course, there's fake pictures and so forth. But there's so much history, 2,600 skeletons in North America alone that have been discovered with double sets of rows of teeth or 6 fingers, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 feet tall, the mound builders, etc. So there's a much bigger history now as we move into opening into our parallel lives, our alternate timelines. This myopic way of shutting it down into one timeline, that's not how the universe works. It is not that boring. Feel that again. The universe is not as boring as I get up at 8 o'clock and I go have my breakfast at 8:30, and every day the universe just moves ahead on the time. No, it's an explosion of timelines. Imagine if the sun only had one ray of light. Yeah. That's one lockdown Cartesian logical timeline. Boring! That's not how the universe works. It has 1 trillion timelines coming off of every sun. Each one of those sun rays is an experiential, an experience track, if you will, a track of an experience of consciousness. This is why shamans talk about walking down the luminous fibers coming out of your belly. Feel this, feel this. The luminous fibers coming out of your belly that Don Ron talks about is your solar plexus. It is the flowing rivers of love, of the living water shall flow out of your bellies, it says somewhere in the Bible. Same thing. Multiple timeline realities. This is going to happen more and more and more because yakking and reading and yakking and giving yourself 12 titles after your name is such bullshit. Get off your pedantic, old, dusty scholarship. If your dusty scholarship is Buddhist or Vedantic or Zen, they don't do it that much, or Taoism, they don't do it that much. But if it's Buddhist or Muslim or Christian or Rosicrucian or all these ancient societies of dusty scholarship, it's like distasteful. I don't give a shit if it's Buddhist or Vedantic or, come on, take your robes off and get a life, Disgusting, really, at this point. And by the way, if you're a real master wearing robes like a Yogananda, if you really are, then you're doing it because you have to adjust to the time. But guess what? It's not 1920s America anymore, okay? It's time. The sexual revolution happened 50 years ago. 50 years ago, the brave souls that incarnated the sexual revolution, 1968, Summer of Love, 69. Hey, that's a good number. 1969, the Summer of Love, right? And I don't know if it was probably 68, but maybe 69. The universe has a sense of humor, and God is great. And it's time. Come on. Get out of your dusty scholarship. Take your glasses off. Let your hair down. Take your robe off. Get real. You have a body. You have a heart, you know. So I have no respect anymore. I mean, I do when it's sincere, and there's beauty in study and scholarship, and it is. I like it. I've got friends who are mathematicians and physicists, and we can get off on mentally masturbating sometimes. But, you know, it's just one experience. Mentally masturbating, meaning, are you a quackademic? I love John Anthony West. I've just been listening to him a little bit about Egypt, and he calls the academics quackademics.
Oh, Tobias, I'm so sorry to interrupt you. If you can, I'm getting a Skype message that we're going to break, so let's do this. And right on, excellent intro. We will be right back. Stay tuned, souljourneysradio.com.
It's time to get real and heal. MyTrueEssence.net would like to tell you about Modifiland brown seaweed extract. It's composed of an elementally rich seaweed called laminaria. It takes 40 pounds of laminaria to make just 1 pound of Modifiland. There's nothing else like Modifiland. It is the richest in alginate, fucoidin, organic iodine, and lamarian. Alginates are the most effective organic element in nature that enable the body to rid itself of heavy metals, radioactive elements, and toxins. Fucoidin is an extremely effective anti-cancer substance found abundantly in brown seaweed. Organic iodine is the greatest protection for the thyroid offered by nature. Laminarin aids in the prevention and treatment of cardiovascular disease. Go to www.mytrueessence.net and click the Modifiland banner to get started on your path to rich health today. Also check out the Healing Shop for proven essential oils, medicinal teas, and even health coaching. It's time to get real and heal. Go to www.mytrueessence.net.
Get real and heal. Listen to Christie on Soul Journeys Radio.
No rules. No rules. No taboo topics. No taboo topics. No fear of doom. No fear of doom. We are American Freedom Radio. American Freedom Radio.
Coming back on, and Christie will get as well back on with phone lines crossing in the night, but everything will work out. So we were leaving off talking about quackademics. I just like that term. And I was been really appreciating talking about parallel realities, multiple timelines, multiple bodies. Can we as humans exist in many different places at once? Is time really a 3D cluster more than a long line? Is walking in time-space literally moving around and popping in and out of different times? Time is not so much travel as choosing a place to be. So that's what we're talking about tonight, and I think we got Christie back with us. Is that right?
Yeah, baby! And Tobias, in regards to the robe thing, you can totally take it off or at least just leave it open because, sometimes robes are hot.
We are disrobing reality, and she likes it, and he likes it. It is time for the great unveiling. It is time for the great apocalypse, meaning full divine revelation. No, the striptease is fine. We can do a nice, interesting revealing, but the revealing is happening, And so this is going to show up. There is a reality behind what is actually how this universe functions. And because there is some outpost in a galaxy far, far away, 2/3 of the way out on one of the arms of this particular galaxy, we decide all of a sudden that it is a materialistic universe only doesn't make it so. There's much larger influences here at work, and time waits for no one. Time doesn't adjust itself into how we believe it should be. So it's going to start cracking. We talked about it last week, I think. People are going to start having more and more episodes of what happened to time, or feeling themselves existing in many places at once. And this is a evolutionary mechanism, because it is a compressing situation going on right now. Remember that scene in Star Wars when they're in the garbage compactor, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Princess Leia and Han Solo and Luke, they've jumped down the garbage chute, and the walls are closing in. Well, that's what's going on rationalistic Descartian logicianship in this particular lockdown prison planet slave dimension that we've trapped ourselves in by listening to the wrong voices. And so the only escape out of this crushing of the walls, this speeding up of time that people are feeling, is you're going to have to learn to jump outside of time. Now, the good news about that is you already know how to do it. It is more fundamental than this temporary 12,500-year-old slave collective consciousness, the martial law that we've been living in. So this is going to be happening more and more for people. You're going to all of a sudden find yourself, no, time slowed down. Or where was I for 5 minutes? Or I was on a daydream, you'll feel it maybe as I'm in this alternate place. Or I'm processing feelings out of nowhere. Because it is a collapsing of time frames, as Terence McKenna talked about it. You can ask for help. The Mayans, like we mentioned last week, can insert themselves, the true Mayans, the galactic spacefaring Mayans, not the remnants of, and I'm being equally politically, spiritually incorrect here, the Mayans existing in current Guatemala, etc., are not the space-traveling Mayans, you know. They are the humans that their ancestors a long time ago interacted with these true time masters, and there's a difference. There's no sense to worship these particular tribal things. I go to Hopi land, and we're actually dealing with something with the Hopis right now, these Kitsunam headdresses that are being auctioned in Paris. And, you know, but yes, it's a beautiful notion that we want to help save them from the auction block in Paris and bring them back to the Hopi, but also we're not meant to worship any of these old traditions. Old traditions are old traditions. We're meant to live not in the Old Testament or even the New Testament. We are meant to live in the Now Testament. The Now Testament. There's a big difference. Big difference.
Really good point. And I totally agree that, you know, we already have this in us. We already know how to do it. We just kind of forgot. But, you know, Tobias, I've shared with you a couple experiences that if I, you know, mentioned them in public, everyone would say, oh, no, that's not possible. Burner. But it happened. These things happened. So it's just weird that, you know, when you need it, it's there. So, yeah, it's kind of comforting to know as well.
I remember hearing from people. I remember hearing stories through the years of people would leap in time. They'd be traveling through New Mexico and cross the whole state in an hour.
I just told you something similar to that last week.
Yes, you did. And so I'm remembering that story, and they prayed about it in their lingo. They said, well, we prayed about it and said we really would prefer, we need to get there faster, and we're out of gas. They were like, they didn't have gas or something, and they somehow leaped through time. And this is a natural ability we have. See, true masters, like we've said, do not need UFO, mechanical, anti-gravity element 115, building these spinning tachyon magnetic motors or even liquid light walls. Feel that for a minute. Liquid light walls, okay? Liquid light walls. The walls are alive. The true masters don't even need that. They don't need any tech at all, because the highest tech in the universe is us. The highest tech in the universe is us. Any pale imitation of natural abilities, like television, is a pale imitation of natural inner visions, as Stevie Wonder calls his album. Inner visions are instant, holographic, instant, be there, full sense around, be anywhere you choose in the universe. That is a far superior ability than the ability to, have 60-inch flat screen, LCD, LED, latest super duper 1200 frames per second or whatever, smart TVs. They're not smart. They're dumb, flat representations still of a fake, unreal. There's nothing real about the movie reels. They are fake, projected, flat imitations of something much more real, and it behooves us to remember that. Who's real? Who's the real? You're the real. You are real. And that's what every master has told us. And when we enter the Now Testament, everything opens up to us. The secret to complete access to a full stage, backstage pass to the universe is, as Jesus said, the kingdom of heaven is not out there on your 60-inch flat screen or the giant screen out there in front of it, It is in you. Kingdom of heaven is within us. So this is the opportunity and the offering and the gift that's being presented to us. The world around us that is still addicted to materiality will be increasingly collapsing, dissolving, dematerializing. Feel that. The materialistic universe is dematerializing. I'll say that again. That the worship of materialism is dematerializing right now. Right now. Right now. And the beauty is the fallback position, the surrendered Buddha position, the not my will but thy will, is a beautiful, I remember who I am. I remember my origins. I trust my own breath, my own life force, the source, God, Mother, Father, universe, creatrix, creator, all that is inside me. Because it is all that is. It knows everything. Therefore, nothing is strange to me. I am a master of all places in the galaxy. There's nothing strange. It is all beautiful exploration. So as I'm speaking a little bit poetically about this, anybody listening, feel it and say, I'll have some of what Tobias is smoking. I don't smoke.
Where do we sign up?
I'll have some of what Tobias is having for lunch, for dinner. I'll have some of that manna. Give me some of that God, or that scene from Harry Met Sally. I'll have some of what she's having. If you want some personal, blissful orgasm, spiritual bliss, orgiastic, merging, melting, just say, I'll have some of what Tobias is having. Or anybody else.
Some of what Tobias is having.
If you want. Now,
when Christie met Tobias.
All heaven breaks loose.
And for those too young to know, that was a reference to When Harry Met Sally. Cutest movie ever. I'll have what Christie's having.
Exactly. It's meant to be beautiful. It is orgasmic, all of it. Yogananda talks about standing on a marble floor and feeling the shivering, electric, pulsating, luminescent, vibrating, effervescing, giving off energy, orgasming marble floor. all of creation is that. And even the darkness. See, Shiva, we've kind of gotten addicted to separate them, good and evil. You know, we made Eve evil.
And some people say El means God.
Yes, El is the elder race. It is also the root word for the fire of God. Elder. Eld actually means fire in German and Swedish, for example. Elohim, of course. And you got to be careful with the wheat from the chaff here and separating out the controlling spirits. You can have very powerful spiritual magicianship that is unloving. Again, it's the Luciferian thing, if you believe in that, versus is there love mixed in, if that's what you want. There's nothing wrong with a dark hand path. There's really nothing wrong with it. You know, Darth Vader is a necessary villain to have the movie. Darth Vader and the Emperor are necessary energetic points to have the drama of Star Wars. Same here.
Yeah, and had Darth Vader not been such a jerk, you know, where would Luke and, you know, Anakin and, you know, Princess Leia and all of them, where would they be? Would they be as powerful as they, you know, became later on in the movie without Darth Vader sharpening their tools?
Right. And therefore the Toltec saying, a worthy adversary is a gift from the universe. And you don't... I see that, but I just have to admit, it's still hard, you know, for me to stomach and digest sometimes. It's like, can the jerks just go away, please? Exactly.
But, yeah, look at the finished product.
Absolutely. And so then, but on the way there, you need to, you know, be real and go, I don't believe that yet. That doesn't feel right to me. You know, these evil, you know, child molesting priests and fake spiritual teachers and money-grubbing, soul-controlling, heartless, Dick Cheney people on the planet. You know, I'm kidding in a way, but not really. All that needs to be set hard against hard. The god Shiva in the Hindu pantheon is beyond duality and judgment. He hangs out with the angels, he heals, and he kills. He's got no qualms about either one. In our Western tradition, we can't imagine Jesus killing people. But if you read the Gospel of Thomas in the last books, there are a couple of instances of Jesus, quote, killing people. Now, you might say that he liberated them from their bodies. And we'll pick that up in a minute.
Yeah. Oh, it's break now. Okay, I'm getting this Skype message. Sorry, we're doing this without hearing any music here. So
it's time to get real and heal. MyTrueEssence.net would like to tell you about Modifiland brown seaweed extract. It's composed of an elementally rich seaweed called laminaria. It takes 40 pounds of laminaria to make just 1 pound of Modifiland. There's nothing else like Modifiland. It is the richest in alginate, fucoidin, organic iodine, and lamarian. Alginates are the most effective organic element in nature that enable the body to rid itself of heavy metals, radioactive elements, and toxins. Fucoidin is an extremely effective anti-cancer substance found abundantly in brown seaweed. Organic iodine is the greatest protection for the thyroid offered by nature. Laminarin aids in the prevention and treatment of cardiovascular disease. Go to www.mytrueessence.net and click the Modifiland banner to get started on your path to rich health today. Also check out the Healing Shop for proven essential oils, medicinal teas, and even health coaching. It's time to get real and heal. Go to www.mytrueessence.net.
Get real and heal. Listen to Christie on Soul Journeys Radio.
Yo, what's up? Check this out. The voice of the revolution. American Freedom Radio. American Freedom Radio.
Welcome back, and thank you for joining us here tonight. Soul Journeys Radio on AmericanFreedomRadio.com. This is really fun. Yippee! We're guessing when the music is supposed to come in or not, so hopefully we're doing good here. And if you would like to join us for the text chat, or if you have any questions or comments, join us over in the text chat at souljourneysradio.com, because until, the World Wide Web, owners, until Al Gore fixes this stuff, we're not going to have a caller line. But I would be happy to take your questions and comments in the text chat to help you out. Anyways, we are talking about parallel lives, alternate dimensions, and robeless gurus. So my favorite robeless guru is our special guest tonight, Tobias Lars, author of Listening to the Sun and Awakening Souls. His website is soulcounseling.com. So woohoo, welcome back. Are you still there, Toby One? Uh-oh. Oh,
I'm here.
damn.
I'm here.
Oh, yay! Okay, tell me it was just your mute button.
That's just my mute button.
All right. So, Toby can do anything in the world. He can recite to you anything he's ever been exposed to his entire life. He can tell you how the universe works, all spiritual laws, physics laws, but when it comes to using a mute button, all right. Well, I appreciate you trying.
Well, I know Joy wishes she could have a mute button on me, but apparently I can only mute myself, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe if we flip into an alternate reality somewhere exists where Joy can mute Tobias if she's listening. We left off with Jesus killing people.
Yeah, baby.
We left off with Jesus killing people. I'm not trying to be...
I'm sure you're stirring up the pot, Tobias, because I can hear a few people, listening to like, what?
I'm not.
Oh, no. He would never do such a thing.
Yeah. Well, the Gospel of Thomas, there's a couple instances. Jesus, all we have a remnant of in what's left of it, the watered down versions that we get sanctioned by the men in the dresses and the funny hats, we get Jesus cursing the fig tree. What's that about? Why would the Prince of Peace, beloved, the Son of God, curse and wither something so innocent as a fig tree?
Yeah, fig trees are cool. What's up with that?
That doesn't make any sense, does it? Well, because the bigger picture behind has to do with energies. If you're only stuck on looking at the surface, So we couldn't really quite handle, I'm sure, the Council of Nicaea said the Gospel of Thomas. Thomas tended to be the more learned, the more introspective, so we'll call him the doubter. He actually tested stuff. He wanted to know how, why. How does this work? Not just Peter, I totally just go with faith and devotion. Nothing wrong with that. I love faith and devotion. That's my path, And Jesus, so in the Gospel of Thomas, there's an instance of when there's a young boy, a playmate of his, that Jesus kills because I think it had to do with some toys they were playing with. Another time he throws a man or pushes a man off a roof, but that's not the reason he dies. And he refuses, and then he heals them again. And another time he brings clay birds back to life, and another time he kills birds. Now, I'm not going to give you answers to the stories, but go look it up, go research it, and ask the source of the universe what's happening from behind the scenes, what's going on, And that's a little provocateur-ish of provoking people. Yeah, provoking us into a deeper study than this is good and this is bad and that's what I've been told and I don't want to think about it. So the deeper picture, in order to enter this fluid universe where you can move between dimensions, between the seven hells and the seven heavens, and those are arbitrary and made up, but there are definite alternate dimensions. And here on Earth, there's a truth to the fact that there's seven hells and seven heavens. There's a truth to that on Earth. But that's just Earth. Earth isn't the same as, some planet in the Pleiades,
Let me ask you, in regards to alternate dimensions, parallel lives, etc., we touched on it last week, and I shared with everyone that I am 100% confident I am living other lives simultaneously. So my question is, because I'm sure I'm not the only one, all of them that I am aware of, everything is peaceful and great and beautiful. So I guess my question is, why would we choose to come here as well if everything is so perfect over there?
Well, why are the Pleiadians here when they have a perfect society off there on Halcyon?
Yeah, why are you?
Yeah, I'm not a Pleiadian. Those creepy Pleiadians. I'm not one of them. No, I'm not. Although I've been there. Nothing. Why are they? Because the same reason the Japanese are interested in John Wayne and crazy Americans and want to buy American jeans for $250 each. Because
is it just fun, or do we have lessons to learn here that we take with ourselves over there, or over there are we learning things that we take with us here, or both?
Both. There's a integration. I know. There's an there are parental units, if you will. That sounds so weird and clinically ET. There's parental parts of a soul. There is a parental part of a soul that then can send out satellites of itself to have experiences. But there is a mother, father, or a source part of a soul, like a parental portion of it. In my understanding.
Here's a really cool answer to that question that just popped up on the chat. He said, Christie, it's because we're focused on the problem. That's why. Wow. Maybe.
I think we have choice. We are choosing often to go, I'll go in here. What could be the big deal? There's all kinds of interesting games and interesting explorations going on, many, many ways. For example, a soul might they might look at Earth and go, what's the big deal? What's their problem? This can't be that hard. I've lived on hundreds of planets and star systems, and it's all just, different fun exploration. I'll go incarnate on Earth. And then they get trapped down here because they hadn't quite expected sex and emotions and the heart to be quite as enchanting, entrancing as it turns out to be. Torah, Gaia, and you're like, I don't need to read all the details. I'll just sign the papers. It's sort of like when you're signing up for new programs on the Internet, you accept the terms of the agreement, No one reads all that, so we're like, I'm not reading. Once you've done one planetary liberation, you've done them all. Well, it's not quite that way on Earth. So there's some of that going on, and we just want the challenge. We want the play. We want the game. That's what there's 100 different scenarios. So you can, and we are in multiple existences. I've got a friend recently who's telling me that he's literally starting to see, he almost met another part of himself physically. He knew that other person walking across the valley was him. Physically, in body, flesh. I know that sounds far out. I know that sounds crazy, but and
yeah, so, not here. So I think sometimes you forget what show you're on, Tobias.
Right.
Okay, all right, I'm getting the message. So apparently the music is coming in, hon. We have to take a short break. So we are here with Tobias Lars, the master, the legend, the saint, Obi-Wan Kenobi, who is a personal awakening coach and the author of Listening to the Sun and Awakening Souls. His website is soulcounseling.com, but we will be back after these few short minutes. Stay tuned, souljourneysradio.com.
It's time to get real and heal. MyTrueEssence.net would like to tell you about Modifiland brown seaweed extract. It's composed of an elementally rich seaweed called laminaria. It takes 40 pounds of laminaria to make just 1 pound of Modifiland. There's nothing else like Modifiland. It is the richest in alginate, fucoidin, organic iodine, and lamarian. Alginates are the most effective organic element in nature that enable the body to rid itself of heavy metals, radioactive elements, and toxins. Fucoidin is an extremely effective anti-cancer substance found abundantly in brown seaweed. Organic iodine is the greatest protection for the thyroid offered by nature. Laminarin aids in the prevention and treatment of cardiovascular disease. Go to www.mytrueessence.net and click the Modifiland banner to get started on your path to rich health today. Also check out the Healing Shop for proven essential oils, medicinal teas, and even health coaching. It's time to get real and heal. Go to www.mytrueessence.net.
Get real and heal. Listen to Christie on Soul Journeys Radio.
No rules, no rules. No taboo topics, no taboo topics. No fear of doom, no fear of doom. We are American Freedom Radio. American Freedom Radio.
All right, welcome back. Top of the second hour here tonight, Soul Journeys Radio on AmericanFreedomRadio.com. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight. And if you would like to join us for the text chat or to have us answer some of your questions or comments, you can join us at souljourneysradio.com. Just in case you missed the intro, we are out of a caller line, but hey, you have St. Toby and myself, so woohoo! Rocking and rolling into the second hour, parallel lives, alternate timelines, and all of that fun stuff with the master, the legend, St. Toby Kenobi!
Mommy, make her stop. Mom, Dad, she's bugging me. Mom.
Make her stop!
Make her stop! Hey, you kids don't stop and I'll have to stop the car and get back there.
Well, we left off and you were telling us about your friend who met himself, and did you have something else you wanted to share with that story?
And I have an ex-partner of mine, my ex-wife, God bless her, Marilyn, wherever you are currently. Oh, she's here in Arizona, I think.
Marilyn.
Yeah, she would talk about having multiple aspects of herself that show up. Literally, people would see her in other places. And this was not just one person, but several. It's in my book, I talk about it, where she shares, and I actually quote her directly. And she had a beautiful story of her niece that was going through a very hard time in her life. And then years later, about 6 years later, her niece said, well, do you remember that time when you came to me and gave me that necklace and told me I should go out in the backyard and say, moon shadows, take these, take this pain and this worry away from me? And Marilyn would said, I have no clue what you're talking about. She said, you don't remember that? You came and you talked to me and helped me and you gave me this necklace and said to wear it and go out and tell the moon, moon shed this certain thing to tell the moon to take the energies away. And Marilyn goes, no, I don't remember any of that. And then later her niece said, well, I'll bring you the necklace. And I have a picture of that actual necklace that somehow Marilyn's double gave to her niece in my book, Listening to the Sun. There's a picture of that actual necklace.
That. Yeah.
And just because it helps us build our belief factor. I saw it, and she said it got all cloudy after a while. This quartz crystal inside this necklace, and then Marilyn got it back 6 years later, and she cleaned it and had it for a while, and it blew her mind. She's like, Tobias, I don't remember any of that. And then her boyfriend at the time is saying, well, yeah, I saw you in Beverly Hills the other day, and you were walking around, and you were talking to me. And she goes, what are you talking about? I'm in Arizona. So we have multiples now of us out there if we're willing to start hearing about it, Get flexible, get loose with your multiple realities. If you insist on that's impossible, then so that's what you get. What you insist on is what you get. If you would like to have a more fluid universe, because it's a little more fun the more it flows, right? Would you like your money to flow better? Would you like your energy? Would you like your energy to flow better? Would you like your health to flow better? Would you like energy in general to flow better in your life? Well, then loosen your frickin' mind grip on reality. You know, start saying, okay, I am ready and open to a little more fluid universe. What if Jesus said, what if Jesus was a totally anal accountant? How many miracles could he perform then? What if Jesus was totally anal about this photon must remain only in this one place, every atom must be perfectly accounted for, and they must stay in their place? Then nothing could ever happen. Everything is accounted for. God's source knows every photon, every molecule, every atom, every piece of light quanta everywhere. But it's also a massive fluid flux of life flow. Surrender to that flow. Make a decision right now inside your heart. You say, I surrender if you're ready. Because when it happens, stuff will start happening in your life. Do you want stuff to happen in your life, or do you like holding on to the life you have now? Either and both choices are perfect. There's no judgment on it. No, I don't want change right now. That's fine. Yeah. But if you do, start loosening the bindings you have around your corset and your chastity belts and your head, your thumb screws to your brain. Start loosening them right now. Go, I'm taking off these, those contraptions they make people wear when they break their neck. It's like screws in their skull.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Most of us are walking around with etheric, astral, energetic contraptions like that, like we would screw down into our body. So right now I can start unscrewing those things and go, hey, I'm ready to be a little looser. Maybe I can let energies move through me. Then you will start accessing multiple parallel dimensions, lifetimes. I am all told, did I tell last time about me laying in bed in Sedona and feeling me living on another planet? I don't know if I told that. It's the most concrete example I've ever had. Not dream world stuff, not other realities. This was full-on conscious 3D. I'm in bed, and then I'm in the dream worlds, but then I wake up, and I'm still in the dream world. And I am in that dream world that's very clear. I have a hover car. It's like a silver kind of car. There's a building. I have a wife. I've got kids. It's woods all around. It's like some, very modern, techno-feeling place. I have this family there. I wake up, Joy's laying next to me. I go, Joy. And I wake her up and I go, wow, I'm in two places at once right now. Let me describe it to you. Because it's good to kind of describe it, or if there's someone else with you, you will help anchor it into this reality so your amnesia mind, the suppressing mind, won't wipe the experience out and go, it never happened, or you'll just forget it. Mm-hmm. Which is, by the way, how you can remember your dreams. As soon as you wake up in the morning, close your eyes and just sit. Replay the dream even while you're still laying down. Transfer it to your conscious mind. Sit up. Transfer it again to your conscious mind. I'm too lazy. David Wilcox says, get up and write it on your computer, write it down. Forget that. I'm way too lazy for that. I just put it back into my other brain lobe. I rewrite it into my conscious brain. Is how I do those things. That's how I remember it. I turn on the voice recorder in my head, the light recorder, and that's how you can do it. So I'm laying in bed, I'm going, wow, I am in that body, that's me, I can see what I look like, there's my wife, there's my kids, blah, 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 and I'm here with you. And it went on for like 5-10 minutes, I am in two bodies. Now that was a taste of the multiple existence. We are all doing this right now. We are all doing this right now. You are all doing it, most of you. There's a few spirits who are just starting out as spirits who are living a single existence. There are baby souls. We're not all the same, it's true. But the vast majority of humans are having some kind of multiple existence experience right now. So right now, make a decision inside yourself. It doesn't take any work. The whole idea of work is down the tubes. The whole idea of sweat and toil and then shout by all-night bread, and you have to beat yourself, and you have to meditate with cold ice, sheets in the ice like the Tibetan monks. No, it's BS. You don't have to do it. But what's the difference between that and flagellation? You can do all that. There's nothing wrong with austerity. There's nothing wrong with fasting, for instance. Yeah, fast for 3-4 days. That's good. Nothing wrong with that stuff. But if it becomes punishment or some kind of masochism, spiritual masochism will not get you anywhere. Spiritual masochism will not get you anywhere. That's your ego trying to give yourself self-importance. Boring, stupid, stop it. Okay?
Oh, my God, you are cracking me up, Tobias.
I'm glad. And I know I sound like a little arrogant, the spiritual masters are going to get Tobias. No, they're not. You know why? Because they're my friends.
Well, there you go. And flatulation is my friend, too.
Yes, folks, you have to make a distinction between flagellation and flatulation.
Oh, okay, all right. We all heard flatulation.
Yes.
I mean, I know we're going through, just a few people have come up on the chat recently, and they're like, what's up with the sound? So we might as well tell you again, due to all of the hacks going on in the World Wide Web that has been cutting out our shows here on American Freedom Radio for the past couple weeks, we found another way around it to get the show done, but it's very primitive. So we can't hear the intros or outros, and I'm not sure how you're hearing me, Tobias, but we're hearing you just a little bit kind of subdued. We have to try really hard and stick the speakers in our ear to hear you. So, we may be hearing different words sometimes.
All right, I got it cranked. I got the mic up to my mouth. I got all my volumes cranked.
I was trying to figure out what do my farts have to do with this, but oh, goodness. Okay.
Right now,
it'll be interesting to hear the archive. I can't wait.
Yeah. So right now, all the hackers and any interference out there, if you want to, you can send pulses, anything coming into you. This is a shamanic technique, and it can also be used with technology. Consciousness infesting in going into technology. Anything being sent at you coming in through the back of your neck or over your third eye, or any binding energies that are trying to, quote, get into you, this stuff goes on. What you can do is you activate your heart, you activate your solar plexus, feel love, feel your solar plexus, feel the power of true understanding, and then what you do is you reverse the flow. You send a ball of cleansing light. It's sort of like cleaning out plumbing with power, like a plumber sends a power push, like some kind of thing down the line. But you're doing it with light, power, heart, and love. You send it down the line, boom. And whoever's on the other end that's not of love, they're going to be popping out the other side, or they're going to get a shock, okay? And that's totally doable. The hackers will fry their equipment, their ears will hurt, or something.
Let's do it.
Anyone, well, we just did. And I just did.
I mean, everyone listening, let's all do it all at the same time.
So whatever you want, send love, light, from your heart, from your belly, out around you like the sun does. And any and all umbilical cords or any cords attaching to you, send love down those. Send an impulse, just like the fiber optic cable is constantly sending impulses. Sometimes when you clean the fiber optic cable, you can send a cleansing pulse down there to wipe out any interference. You can do that anytime you want, of the highest good, of God's source, original intent, of freedom and free will for all beings. You send that down all those chords, all those places, and nothing can withstand anything that is not of love, not of heart, not of freedom, not of respect for other beings and souls, gets uncorked, wiped out, dissolved, kicked out. And that's a decision and a choice that you just send it down the line with your intention. Now that's pure love warriorship, you know, of righteous cleaning. And this is something that we're all going to have to learn, because it is not enough to have just sweet intent, because the road to hell is paved with that stuff. They're just good intention. You have to actually at some point step up and assume the power only of your own sphere. You know, that's all you need to do, and say, as for me and my house, your temple, your body, I want God's source, real fun, real pleasure, real enjoyment, real original intent in my body. If that's what you want, it's up to you. But so there's nothing that can hurt anybody unless it's something we're learning, you know.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say this. In regards to the hackers, let's say there's 200 people listening here tonight, and we all send that out. What if there's 300 intending for the opposite? Who wins?
It doesn't matter. It takes one awakened man. It depends on levels of consciousness. 1,000 Buddhas or 1,000 Jesuses are more powerful than the whole rest of the people on the planet combined. Feel that?
All right. Well, we've got a bunch of Jedis listening, so I think we win then.
There you go. It does have to do with clarity of intent and also not judgment. If you can do it from the place of, meaning if you still have anger and resentment and judgment of them, then you will have a mixed message and there's still lessons for us to learn. It is really only in the non-judgment place that you are given the power, on more and more power. The less judgmental you become, the more and more power safely comes to you. It is a fail-safe mechanism of the universe. It may look to others as you are being judgmental, but only someone at the same level of consciousness or higher can accurately discern what you are really doing. Otherwise, you are seeing things through your filters. This is the whole idea of God works in mysterious ways. Jesus withering the fig tree, Jesus killing the sparrows, Jesus not healing people at the pool in Bethesda, Buddha not healing people at times. All right,
that's very well said, Tobias. But I'm so sorry to interrupt you here.
No.
I'm getting noticed. We have a break, so hang on. We still can't hear the music, too, while we're doing this little experiment, but the show is working. Hang on. We will be right back. Stay tuned. SoulJourneysRadio.com.
It's time to get real and heal. MyTrueEssence.net would like to tell you about Modifiland brown seaweed extract. It's composed of an elementally rich seaweed called laminaria. It takes 40 pounds of laminaria to make just 1 pound of Modifiland. There's nothing else like Modifiland. It is the richest in alginate, fucoidin, organic iodine, and lamarian. Alginates are the most effective organic element in nature that enable the body to rid itself of heavy metals, radioactive elements, and toxins. Fucoidin is an extremely effective anti-cancer substance found abundantly in brown seaweed. Organic iodine is the greatest protection for the thyroid offered by nature. Laminarin aids in the prevention and treatment of cardiovascular disease. Go to www.mytrueessence.net and click the Modifiland banner to get started on your path to rich health today. Also check out the Healing Shop for proven essential oils, medicinal teas, and even health coaching. It's time to get real and heal. Go to www.mytrueessence.net.
Get real and heal. Listen to Christie on Soul Journeys Radio.
Welcome to the world's meeting place. American.
It's practically narcotics.
Freedom.
Oh, yes. I like very much.
Radio.
You're an American institution.
American Freedom Radio.
Welcome back, and thanks again for joining us here tonight. Soul Journeys Radio on AmericanFreedomRadio.com with our very special guest, Tobias Lars of soulcounseling.com and courseofawakening.com. By the way, if you are unable to catch Tobias Lars in person in Arizona or wherever he is traveling, you now have the luxury of joining him for his teleseminar, his Course of Awakening teleseminars on Saturday, I believe, for most other countries, and Sundays for U.S. But let's have Tobias tell us about it.
Yeah, I changed it to both on Sundays. We do a Skype class at around 6, 7, 8 p.m. for Europe, and around 10, 11, or between 10 and, depending on what part of the country we are, 10 a.m. Pacific or 1 p.m. Eastern in the U.S. So nighttime in Europe, midday in America, on Sunday, Skype. And then in the evening, the teleclass is at 6 p.m. Pacific and 9 p.m. Eastern. So you can do it on the phone or you can do it over the Internet, both on Sundays. So we're going to be having church, but it's a different kind of church on Sundays. Yeah. And it's just, we're finding friends now across the planet. We're connecting with like-minded souls in the cyberspace. And so this is a way for us to have communion and just turn on your computer. Somebody wrote last week, what a way to do a class or seminar. I just lay down on my couch and just listen and let the energies move through my body, So we're having some good results. People seem to be enjoying it. And there's a chance to ask questions too. It's minimal charge, so if people can't fly to Sedona or invite me to bring the Course of Awakening, for a weekend seminar, they can participate for $10 on doing the Skype class for an hour and a half on Sundays. So it's courseofawakening.com, and just click for the seminars down on the right-hand side, and very, very easy if you want to be part of it, So that's what Spirit told me back in September, and finally I got around to it about a month ago. So,
awesome. I'm so glad you're able to do that, and thankfully the World Wide Web, when it works, it's awesome that we can connect with people this way. And Tobias, I mean, seriously, what you have to share is just so darn valuable. I think it's a sin to keep it only in Arizona. In person, a lot of people are, missing out, and it's just really neat that you've been able to do these. I've attended one, and it was just really, really beautiful. So if you're not getting enough of Toby here, and once again can't see him in person, go to courseofawakening.com and then click on seminars, and it's like $10. So anyone can afford that, I think.
And there seems to be some each time is very different. There's a chance in the beginning, while our groups still remain, relatively small, less than 20 people, that you can talk about what is on your heart or make a request. This is the old way of sitting in circle, the Stonehenge circle or satsang, or meeting like the Quakers or whoever. You come together, and then there is power in where two or more are gathered, and the wishing well. We create this magic wishing well in the center that is the pillar of fire that then becomes the horn of plenty and has all the solutions for us. And so people are, in the beginning of each time, we throw out some things that people want to know about, or maybe something they want healing on. And sometimes there's direct personal messages. It's happening some. And I just follow kind of what is indicated, and it's unique each time because unique souls come at different times. It's never cookie cutter. Not some formula we're following, like something like the Course in Miracles, which is beautiful material, but it is obviously written down, and it's we do it in the moment. I'm doing the Now Testament. It's time to do the Now Testament. And that's what we're going to do. And that's what's going to set us back to having energy again, having freedom again. And like you asked before, just a few of us across the planet, and then there's many people doing the same thing. There's millions and millions and millions of people that are wanting real source, real God, real love now on the planet, and it is coming. But we have to actually do it. It's sort of like, yes, I know I can do that, but you have to actually go do it. So part of actually doing it is gathering, small groups of people gathering and declaring their own healing and what they want for the planet. There's nothing as powerful as that, because as we decide in consciousness, so it becomes. As we decide in consciousness, so it becomes. Any of the controlling elites stand no chance whatsoever. And they really are the powers that were. But we have to actually walk through it and do it, you know. So I'm loving it. It feels great to me. It's no look. The new model is in our pleasure and in our enjoyment we find our treasure. The old model is pain and suffering, toil, sweat and tears and suffering. Life's a bitch and shit happens and then you die. That's the old model, okay? The new model is I enjoy myself of no effort. The life force wants to do things for me each day. And learn to follow that, whether it's changing your diet or doing some different exercise or moving into a side job or starting to sell things, creating something that feels blissful and enjoyable to you and becoming an integral part of what you're meant to do on the planet. This is the time to do it. Is it a happy skipping down the yellow brick road? No. You're going to be challenged by your own demons, your old patterns, your old addictions. But they stand really no chance once greater is the energy in you than any of the crap out here. Greater is the Kundalini, Life Force, Holy Ghost, the source in you, than any of the mental, mind-controlling, fear-mongering that may be existing out here. So really, it's an exciting time to be on the planet. It really is. It's going to be a horrible time for those that are still clinging desperately to the old model of control. And it's a wonderful, liberating time right now for those that are finally going to be set free of, wow, all these dreams I've had in my heart, all these things that I knew were not right or what I really wanted to do. You're going to be finding your voice. You're going to be finding your voice, and things are going to get better and better and better and better if you're willing to do the house cleaning of your own energetic temple. And that's what God told me years ago, Source told me years ago, on my own higher self. I say God because I had no religiosity or religious programming growing up, so that word works for me. And it feels like we are God, we are part of the Source, but there are certainly bigger aspects of the Source than I am currently, and so I like having backup. I like having Big Daddy, Big Mommy behind me, you know, to protect me and those that work for that. So they're there to help us. There's thousands and thousands and thousands of beings, of angels and helpers right now. But we have to release them and say, yes, I want this more in my life. You know, it's a beautiful time, really. Now there's going to be some upheavals, and there's going to be some massive dematerialization of the old materialistic ways, but there can also be a pretty smooth transition. For example, away from banks. I've seen this, and I'm going to say it again. I said it before. There's going to be some kind of money system online that's going to show up that we all own together. There's going to be some kind of money system show up online that we all own together. We're going to cut out the banks. They're going to be gone. They're going to be gone. Can you believe that? Or do you need old enemies to fight? Can you believe, can you place your attention on, we no longer need banks. We no longer need, middlemen. We can go direct. There's so much power and energy in the universe. Trading, there's so many ways to trade. It's like value is value, exchange is exchange. Money is just one way to exchange. There's time, there's things, there's plants, there's food, there's service, there's work, there's help, there's 1,000 different ways of valuable exchange with each other. Say right now to yourselves, I open up to valuable ways of exchanging, not just fiat money, but that's one aspect of it. As long as your power company needs it that way, yeah, we'll play that game. But it's going to get phased out. more and more and more. It doesn't need to be bloody revolution in the streets. It just needs to be, we no longer want to do it that way. So there can be a relatively smooth transition into this new paradigm of real freedom on the planet. And that the biggest thing you can do individually is to free the energies inside you, because as within, so without. And what's going to happen, you're going to reclaim your real godhood, godship, and what part of that ability is that you will be able to walk between parallel realities, get aware of multiple timelines, get more comfortable with fluidity of this power. The only reason there's a power in the power mongers that want to control us is because we've given it to them. The only reason there's power in government, IRS, Illuminati, whatever you got, international this and that, controlling agendas, is because we have given it to them.
Yes, we have.
So the biggest thing you can do is go, I now am set upon reclaiming my power for me.
Yeah.
And you'll be healthier, and you'll enjoy your sex life better. You'll feel less crappy. You'll feel good. You'll feel good for no reason. You'll start getting free.
Everyone will think you're high like Tobias.
Mm-hmm. Amen, brother and sister. You betcha. Absolutely. Yeah, baby. Absolutely.
Oh, goodness. It's so true, though. We totally have given our power away. And, it really is so easy to do. So it's not like there's anything wrong with us. Yeah, we've been conditioned, programmed, blah, blah, blah. But, we don't have to stay there. So the question is, now that we know what next, what do we do now? And seriously, people, when you're first waking up and, people still have the tendency, well, let's go back to the people who we gave our power to and then ask them to take care of it for us.
Right.
No, that's what got us in this situation, and it's obviously not working. So we just have to do it, live it, see it. It might be a little bit scary. Thank God there's people like Tobias around that can, kind of help you find your true power and assert it again without feeling guilty, without feeling shame, without feeling like there's something wrong with you. And, that's really what we need to do. We need to find our authentic selves and then just be it regardless.
Yes. And I know I come off as a little arrogant child. I understand that.
You little prick.
Exactly. I come off as a little, know-it-all little prick. But you know what? This false humility of spiritual teachers, and I don't want to step out and really be confronted, and I want to keep it, that's what the collective, that's all they've been able to handle. I love Eckhart Tolle, but let's face it, he's like so subdued that there's, he's very quiet about it. And that's really all the collective can handle. We can't handle Jesus, playing bass in the band. We can't take it,
Yeah, he would have been in jail or, a FEMA camp or something like that if he was here right now. And who knows, maybe he is here right now. Ooh, or maybe he's within us.
He's everywhere right now. I've met Jesus. Yeah. See, when even saying that, people are going to think I'm crazy, but that's all right. It's time to claim some of the stuff. Come out of the spiritual closet. If you want to have access to more energy and fun, everyone on the planet just about has had massive spiritual experiences. Some we remember, some we don't, meaning like we're talking about multiple experiences, my ex-wife Merlin, and, joy, seeing spirits in the room, and everyone sees it. Even the most straight people, they're like, yeah, that happened to me too, but I don't want to talk about it. Give me another beer, That's all right, But the fact is, it's happened to all of us. It's time to come out of the spiritual closet. It's time to come out of the spiritual closet now.
Yes.
Now.
Definitely.
This is the time. That was Gabriel's trumpet right there. Now.
And that is an order.
Yes.
From God himself, who just happens to be on the show tonight.
Yeah. Well, whoever's possessing me at the moment. But it feels like a good God. I take no responsibility. What I do is I say, well, it was, God did it. It wasn't my fault. But here's the thing. So when you die, you're going to be told, well, I heard some crazy lunatic guy say it was time to speak up and get going. He did say it a few times. He said, now. I said, well, where do you go? You weren't informed. You can't say you weren't informed anymore. Now.
Well, speaking of now, I'm getting a few nows in the chat box, which means we have to take a break. And I know we used to blame God. Now I just blame Tobias. But it is that time, so hang on, everyone. We will be right back. Tobias Lars here on SoulJourneysRadio.com.
It's time to get real and heal. MyTrueEssence.net would like to tell you about Modifiland brown seaweed extract. It's composed of an elementally rich seaweed called laminaria. It takes 40 pounds of laminaria to make just 1 pound of Modifiland. There's nothing else like Modifiland. It is the richest in alginate, fucoidin, organic iodine, and lamarian. Alginates are the most effective organic element in nature that enable the body to rid itself of heavy metals, radioactive elements, and toxins. Fucoidin is an extremely effective anti-cancer substance found abundantly in brown seaweed. Organic iodine is the greatest protection for the thyroid offered by nature. Laminarin aids in the prevention and treatment of cardiovascular disease. Go to www.mytrueessence.net and click the Modifiland banner to get started on your path to rich health today. Also check out the Healing Shop for proven essential oils, medicinal teas, and even health coaching. It's time to get real and heal. Go to www.mytrueessence.net.
Get real and heal. Listen to Christie on Soul Journeys Radio.
News and information you can trust. This is American Freedom Radio. Freedom, American Freedom Radio. American Freedom Radio.
Welcome back, everyone. Last segment here, Soul Journeys Radio on AmericanFreedomRadio.com.
Oh, God.
Hey. You yelling at me? I haven't even made any mistakes yet. What's up, Daddy?
Thank God it's the last segment. I'm sweating, and I have all these beings in the room. They're annoying me. They're saying, say this. They're trying to jump in my body and have me say all this stuff, and I'm like, I'm the one on Earth. I'm the one that's going to get my ass kicked, You guys are safe from the other dimension. What the? So thank God we're on the last segment.
Well, do you have enough time to get out everything that they want you to share with us tonight?
Hell no. They got eons worth of stuff that no one's been listening to for thousands of years.
We might just have to do some more webcam shows.
Well, yeah, unfortunately, they'll probably want to do that.
Well, fine. Okay, they pick and choose. That's cool. I see how you are. Brian, you're on fire tonight. I really wish we could hear you better, but I'm thinking the archive is going to be nice and clean, and I really appreciate everything you do, Tobias. We were talking earlier. It's like, oh, my gosh, we're almost at 150 shows. That's just you and me. Not, not the other 1,000 shows we've done, but that's huge. Here you are giving me props. I mean, we owe a lot to you. You have showed up every week religiously, more weeks than I have. You're always here to share your wisdom with us. And, it separates Tobias from the rest of the crowd is, as you were talking, it's up to us to do it, but you don't make us dependent on you. You teach us how to, get the ball and run with it. You might show us where the ball is. Yay. We all need a little help once in a while, but then you teach us how to run with it. And that's what I love about you so much. So thank you. Just thank you for being here all of this time.
Oh, I love it. Actually, that's my butt I've been showing you on Skype. That's not my face, and I'm really hurt that you can't tell the difference. Anyway, go ahead.
Toby's a little Ewok. He's a cute little Ewok. really his higher self you see in the videos. So, okay, we're having too much fun. And people are like, shut the hell up. It's funny, but we need some information. We've got about 6 minutes left. And, you know, Tobias, when we were talking about the multiple realities and the other dimensions and such, one question I thought of is, you know, we hear people, or I do, often they say, well, the reason people want to be in a physical body on this plane at this time is so they can experience the 5 senses, the touch, the smell, the feeling, etc. And in my experience, in the other places, I have all that too. I mean, I even take it with me when I come to. There, you have the same touch, the same smells, the same. I mean, it seems the same to me, and I could be totally freaking loony. I mean, I've heard that before, once or twice. There must be some truth to it. But so can we talk more about that?
I agree with you. We have all the senses actually in much more powerful, clear, exquisite, sensitive ways. The senses are more sensitive as you move into higher dimensions, if you will. They don't go away. They become more and more sensitive and more beautifully acute. I think really, so on Earth, we're really wanting to bring back God's source to descend, to not ascend, but descend, to incarnate, infleshate, to bring spirit, bring heaven back on Earth. And there was a rip, a fall of disconnect where we got trapped. It's like someone shut the door behind us, kind of, and we all got locked inside this veiled prison dimension, we could call it, on Earth. And so we're really, Earth is in jail, and we are planning a massive jailbreak, is what Wavy Gravy said, I think, one time. And, you know, that's it. And AC/DC wrote a song about it. Jailbreak, right? Of course. That's what's going on. And so we really are here to reclaim the remnant, to reawaken, to bring back home, to let there be full communication, communion, oneness with the energies that have been trapped inside the prison gates. We are locked outside the gates of paradise, and we are no longer allowed to be naked. You know, we're no longer allowed to be open, to be free. And so we're really here to reclaim that energy, because all energy is meant to be free. All energy is meant to have communion with the source. And there's been a cutoff. It's like the supply line of pure energy, pure love, pure God, pure source has been cut off, which is why we have death. Death is non-existent. Death is a temporary military martial law thing that the role that the angel of death has to do right now. So actually, we're not here to explore the senses so much, I wouldn't say it, although I understand why people say it that way. It's more that we are here to recover this particular frequency level that we've termed 3D and make it holy and divine again as it was intended to be and as it was in the beginning. You know, that's what we're doing. And that will happen. There's no way it won't happen. It's just a matter of when and how, and, you know, it's up to us because we have free will. God is not going to trespass on us. Well, I can't say that. God might at some point pull the plug if we never learn, and God might say, forget it, everybody else. Recall, there's a giant recall of souls. There's a giant recall of souls. We've decided that you've taken trillions of years and you're still not waking up, so they're just pulling the plug on the whole experiment. Could happen. It could happen, you know, I don't know that, but I could definitely see that scenario, you know, in my wild musings. But I don't think so. I think we're actually, the majority of souls here is going to be, many souls on Earth right now. I'm not sure it's the majority, but there's a huge harvest, if you will. I don't like that word, but it's a huge self-fulfilling freedom awakening into sovereignty. How's that? That's better than harvest. Harvest sounds like we're like freaking cattle or something. But there's millions of souls that are going to be going into freedom and sovereignty, and millions won't. They will be moving to other portions, other sectors in the galaxy of other galaxies to continue their journeys, is how I see it. And it's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
I agree with that. Tobias, we have about, I'm guessing about a minute and 15 seconds left.
Thank God.
Yeah. What's important thing you want to leave us on tonight?
That was pretty good. That can continue. So the most powerful thing we can do to ensure our enjoyment or our being able to move more and more consciously into multiple timelines and being the authors of our own experience and starting to enjoy life again, our bodies, our emotions, or the people we love, and have some fun again on the planet, is to reclaim our energies. So the inner body awakening.com is one of the simplest techniques to feel your inner body, because it don't lie. It doesn't lie. You can make up all kinds of stuff in your head, but feeling your own inner energies, there's something real to that. You go outside, you feel the sun on your skin. That's not made up, that's something real. Well, you have the same energies inside you, so that's a good first step. Second step, the alchemy energy process, learn to work with those energies. And God Source shared these techniques with me about a number of years ago, but about 3 years ago, said you need to get them out there on the web so you don't have to just do them in person with people. And then the third, finer energies, is the heartenergy.com, which is where you learn to reawaken the heart and feel your heart again, which is the scariest thing for everybody on the planet, So I love you. Thank you. And stop calling me Toby-Wan Kenobi. I hate it. I love it. I hate it. I love it. I hate it. I love it.
I hate you. I love you. I hate you. I love you. I hate you.
Exactly.
Oh, man, this was fun. You did great, Tobias.
Thank you. I love you.
And thank you all for hanging in there. And, excellent show tonight, as always. Can't wait to actually be able to hear you on the archive, but it is that time. Y'all, thank you all for joining us. Once again, his website is courseofawakening.com. We will see you next week, same time, same place, souljourneysradio.com.
It's time to get real and heal. MyTrueEssence.net would like to tell you about Modifiland brown seaweed extract. It's composed of an elementally rich seaweed called laminaria. It takes 40 pounds of laminaria to make just 1 pound of Modifiland. There's nothing else like Modifiland. It is the richest in alginate, fucoidin, organic iodine, and lamarian. Alginates are the most effective organic element in nature that enable the body to rid itself of heavy metals, radioactive elements, and toxins. Fucoidin is an extremely effective anti-cancer substance found abundantly in brown seaweed. Organic iodine is the greatest protection for the thyroid offered by nature. Laminarin aids in the prevention and treatment of cardiovascular disease. Go to www.mytrueessence.net and click the Modifiland banner to get started on your path to rich health today. Also, check out the Healing Shop for proven essential oils, medicinal teas, and even health coaching. It's time to get real and heal. Go to www.mytrueessence.net.
Get real and heal. Listen to Christie on Soul Journeys Radio.
You're listening to the future of talk. American Freedom Radio. This is American Freedom Radio.